Towards the boulder big, and it is. It's Nelson Piquet, second in the World Championship, and look at the lead that he's got on the first lap. Now, there's no sign, as I look down onto the grid, as Patrase's car is being towed away, of the race being stopped, and it's got to be stopped, because there is
They've got a red flag now. There's a man with a red flag.
There's a course car right in the middle of the circuit, as you can see. There are the yellow flags. Well, this is a tragic opening to the 1981 Belgian Grand Prix, because as Nelson Piquet in the lead exits the Jochen Rindt, they are waving, as you see, waving. This is unbelievably dangerous, and those marshals out on the circuit are taking a tremendous chance, because the drivers will be well and truly swept up. And there's Chico Serra almost taking one of the marshals with him. Well, the Belgian Grand Prix is still on. We had the most incredible fracas in earlier races, particularly the Renault 5 race, when they were being bundled off in large numbers, particularly at the chicane, and it's brute force that's being used to try and shift Siegfried Sturr's car. Siegfried Sturr's getting a bit of a reputation as a crasher, but that really wasn't his fault. And Siegfried Sturr, we've just had the news that Siegfried Sturr has gone away in the ambulance with the mechanics, I suspect suffering from shock.
That was the most terrible thing, you know. I hold the organisers entirely responsible for total incompetence there, because they started the race when they knew there was a mess. The cars had all arrived at the wrong moment. They should have cancelled the start and started it again. And I'm afraid that the organisers have behaved in the typically amateurish and incompetent way, and we've got a person certainly seriously injured, because I think the mechanic was at the back of Patrase's car attempting to start it, where you plug it in, and I think he was probably took the brunt of that accident.
Well, they're all slowing down. This is quite obvious, but as Piquet goes through, Piquet is still in the lead now on lap 2 out of 72. It is extremely difficult to tell what is happening here at Zolder. The drivers are pressing on, as you can see for yourselves, but there is absolute mayhem in the start area.
I think a couple of drivers are pressing on. I think the others have slowed right down and are going to possibly sort of stop of their own accord, because nobody has stopped this race.
While you're looking at, yeah, that's it, there is Eddie Cheever waving his hands as if to say, stop the race, for heaven's sake, stop the race. They're all slowing down. How can they possibly race when there are mechanics and officials all over the circuit? And there is no doubt that I suspect voluntarily the drivers are stopping the race themselves, and you can see what's happening as mechanics and Piquet goes on his way.
Yes, undoubtedly that was the driver's decision. They arrived at it themselves. They stopped the race, and I praise them for doing that, because it's awfully difficult when you know that somebody else is racing, and it's a very difficult thing to do.
That is Elio De Angelis.
Well, I hope that poor mechanic's all right. I find it astonishing that that's the second sort of incident like that that's happened at Zolder this week, and I'm sure you'll want to know how his health will be. And as soon as we get information from there, we'll let you have it. And of course, we'll be back for the restart of that Belgian Grand Prix, which we hope this time will be accident-free. Well, we're still not rain-free at the cricket. We'd like to be bringing you some action from Edgbaston, Warwickshire against Leicestershire, the John player match. As you see, things not going our way there. But there has been some action at some of the other games.
And first of all, Nottinghamshire against Somerset. Somerset's decision to put Nottingham...
81, he's covered himself in glory. In fourth position, Gilles Villeneuve in the turbocharged Ferrari, ahead of the fifth place, Elio De Angelis in the Lotus 81, and John Watson finishes sixth.
Murray Walker and James Hunt, the commentators there. An astonishing race, a disastrous start and an early finish. But a good day for Carlos Reutemann, once again, having already won the Brazilian Grand Prix. And this is how the World Championship table looks now. Reutemann has extended his lead to some 12 points from Piquet and Jones, who have, of course, neither finished that race. Patrese is fourth, Lafitte, De Angelis, Prost, and Nigel Mansell, the young man from Birmingham, moves into the points tally. He's got 4 points there, as you can see. Incidentally, I've just heard on my little earpiece here that the organisers decided to stop the race because apparently they have a right to do so after 2/3 of the distance if they think conditions are inappropriate or dangerous. Apparently they did, and they stopped the race after 55 laps, which shocked one or two people over there and shocked one or two people here. More golf coming up fairly shortly from Wentworth, the final round of the Martini for you. But as well as Mr. Greer's good wishes that Harry produced for us down there at Wentworth just now, we've had 1 or 2 letters because this is our first Sunday grandstand. And I've got one here from a young gentleman called John Hammond, who's aged 13 from Windsor. And he says, "Dear Des, if it rains one day," got a sense of humour, "I'd like to see Seb Coe and Steve Ovett win their Olympic gold medals. I admire these two more than any other sportsman, but don't know which of them I like the best." Well, John, perhaps seeing the 2 races again will help you make up your mind. Here they go.
So as they line up, it's Kirov of Russia on the inside, Ovett, Great Britain in lane 2, with Maris, Brazil, lane 3.
So thanks for writing. I'm sure there'll be some interesting confrontations between Coe and Ovett this summer. We'll bring them to you when we can on BBC television. Well, now, if you've been tuning in this afternoon for some John Player cricket, we haven't brought it to you simply because the weather picture at Edgbaston hasn't been very kind to us. Although the sky's at the moment looking a little bit clearer, we understand there'll be a formal inspection there at 10 to 5 in about 10 or 12 minutes' time, and then we'll know whether we're going to have a limited over. It'll be very limited over now, won't it? About 10 over match, I should think, something like that. But from what I can pick up of the picture there, it seems to have actually stopped raining, which is good news, but a bit greyer to the side there. But we might have a bit of cricket for you. Who knows? Right, now let's go back to the Martini golf down at Wentworth, final round today. When we were last there, Noel Ratcliffe from Australia, who had to qualify for this competition, was back in the lead, 1 stroke ahead of his fellow Australian Roger Davis and the West German Bernard Langer. Harry Carpenter will bring us up to date once again. Harry?
Well, there's one change at the very top of our leaderboard. Bernhard Langer, the 23-year-old West German, has dropped a stroke at the 7th.